it's Christy. I'm here with another Make a Card with Christy video. The other day we made this really sweet little card using the Mama Elephant in My Heart stamp set that I have just been loving and can't get enough of. And when I made this card, I showed you that I had stamped out two other little scenes here. The one with the little boy and the other one with the little girl. And these would be featured in upcoming videos. Today we're going to use the little boy on a card. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. We are still going to be using the Dear Lizzie Neapolitan paper pad by American Crafts. But we're going to begin with our coloring. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in for you and we'll get started. Alright, so for the little boy, I'm going to start off with his skin like I usually do. And I'm going to put in a layer of the FS1 and just color that in. Like I said in my last video, these images are great if you're a beginning colorer because there's not a whole lot to them, so it's really quick and easy. And as long as you keep your touch pretty light, we're going to do our shadows down the right side of his face with a little FS3. We'll have our sun coming from this direction in the right. Just a little shadows here under his pant legs. And then we can blend that back out. See how quick and simple that is? Doesn't take much at all. Alright, so I'm going to make him a blonde today. So I'm going to start with a GB2, that's a golden brown. And I'm just going to lay in the lightest color here. Okay, I'm going to go in with my GB3, which is my darkest. Kind of just darken up the edges. Just really subtly. Not a whole lot of color there. I'll do the top of his head and then I'll do the front here. Okay. Go in with GB1. Kind of blend that out. Okay, I'm going to go back with my GB2 and just blend that all together. Okay. Alright, and I can see that I forgot to do his ears, so I'll just take my bullet tip of my FS1 and just fill those in really quick. We'll go ahead and do our turtle next, so I'm thinking about what color I want his clothes to be. So we'll do a little CG3. And then I'm going to darken that just slightly on his shell with the CG4. Blend that in. Okay. For the grass, I'm going to switch to the LGs. It's the light greens. Just do a little flicking motion. Trying to make that turtle look like he's not just floating in the air there. This can be like maybe a field where the grass is a little more wild and tall than you know, like just a yard. Just adding in a little bit of taller flicks with the tip of my bullet nib. Okay. And I think I'm going to take a little of that CG4 just to darken some of that up as well. Just to add some variety. Just little touches. Alright. I think we'll do maybe a bright yellow shirt. So we'll add in some CT3. And then some CT4 in just the shadows. And I'm not going to even blend that in because it's so small. And the colors are similar enough that they really just blend together. And then I think I'll give him a pair of jeans. So I'll take TB5. Do little jean overalls. Just fill that in. Okay. I'm going to darken that with a TB7. And blend that in. Okay, last I just need to do the sky, and I'm going to do the same thing I did before, taking my BT1 marker and this time using the brush nib. I'm just going to like add some color going out from the image. Take my blender pen, just really blend that out so it fades. Going all along where that turtle is. And then just really blending that out. So actually I changed my mind. We're not quite done with our focal image. I decided that I wanted to add just a tiny bit of dirt to the bottom because I thought that would be appropriate with the little boy and all that. So what I'm going to do for that, because I just want a really light sprinkling, is I'm going to go right to the edge of the grass line and just really quickly dot in some dirt with the very tip of my bullet nib. You could also use your brush nib. You just want to be really careful and use very light pressure. So I'm using EB3, and then I'm going to use EB2, and I'm just going to go across and do the same thing, just adding a little bit of dots in between here. I know my boys are always getting dirty, so I thought this would be appropriate. And then I'll take a little EB1. Once again, just add in a few dots. And then if I want to darken that up even further, just a tiny bit, I'll take the EB5 and just really sparingly with this one, using the very tip, just add a few light dots here and there. And actually, I'm going to take a TN3, which is a tan color, and I'm going to add some freckles to his face, just really, really carefully. Just touching the very tip of that marker to his cheeks. I think I'll go over that with the FS1 just one more time, just so they're not quite so predominant. Alright, and now we are finished with our coloring. So now we can go ahead with the assembly of the card. So I've got my piece of Spectrum Noir cardstock here folded to a standard size card. This is a landscape card. This means it's 5.5 by 4.25 on the front. And I'm going to go ahead and take my pattern papers. These are from that Dear Lizzie collection, like I showed you, the Neapolitan 6x6. Just running my ATG around the edges. And then I'm going to go ahead and line that up. Get that pressed into place. Got this little strip here to cover the bottom. Alright, so our focal panel is going to go over here. And I've got these 3 little strips here. This little heart pattern and this number pattern are not actually in the paper pad. These are the top strips of the 6x6 papers that you can rip off. And they've included some fun little pieces, which I thought were really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and snip that off there. And I'm going to cut these into little flag shapes. And the way I do that is I just cut down the middle and then up the sides to meet that middle point. So we have that one. We have a little bit of a wider one with a yellow polka dot. Okay. And then we have our numbers. I'm going to trim that one down a little bit lower since it would cut right into the 3 so that we have the full 2 there. Alright, and then these are going to get adhered to the back of this panel here, kind of sticking off the edge. So I'm just going to line these up. I'm going to go ahead and stick a little bit of ATG on the ends of each of these so that I can press them into place as I decide where to put them down. I know I want this one kind of in the center there. I'm not going to press it too hard just in case I need to move it. I think we'll do maybe the heart up top, kind of extending out a little bit, and then our numbers right about there. Just double check and make sure that looks good. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a tiny bit of twine. I think I'm going to use the natural color. Yep. It's just to tie in the boyish theme here. Okay. Alright, and then we'll just tie that into a really simple bow over on the side. Okay, can trim off the excess once I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to take a little bit of my giant roll of foam tape and we'll add that to the back of our panel. And we'll go ahead and adhere this to our card front. Press that into place, and that's our card for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's a little bit more of a masculine themed card, although it could also, you know, even go to a mom because of the rainbow stripe, kind of ties it in for anybody. And I hope you'll stay tuned for our last one to be shown in an upcoming video shortly. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.